A cryptocurrency regulated by Evil Corp. The hypocrisy isn't surprising.
A special Evil Corp discount if we use their new money. If you ever needed a sign that our work is not done yet, this is it. Even if you track the call to some crank anchor down the street, when you give them the info, like another country farm.
The phone. It's the one Joanna gave me. Hello?
What are you doing?
Making a high-powered antenna. Need to piggyback off someone else's Wi-Fi.
I remember looking up at this roller coaster thinking it was the highest thing I'd ever seen. Of course, I wasn't tall enough to go on it, so my dad went with Elliot, and I had to wait with my mom. I don't remember exactly what happened next, but somehow I got lost. You know, most kids get scared shitless when they're alone, but I wasn't. I loved it. All of a sudden, I felt someone grab me around the waist and pick me up. There was this old woman. She was skinny and tall. She had this smeared, almost pink lipstick. She held on to me tight. I thought about screaming, but I didn't. I didn't want to. And we went to Nathan's, and she said that I could have whatever I wanted. My parents never asked me what I wanted. Ever. It was the first time I ever really felt special. We started driving to her house, and I definitely remember thinking that something wasn't right, but I just looked at her and her lipstick and let it happen. And then we got to her house, and she showed me my room, and it had one of those beds with the curtains around it. And I did feel like a princess. I remember thinking that this is my new home and my new life, and I didn't have to see my parents ever again. It's like a wish I had that all of a sudden came true. And I went to sleep just hoping that this wasn't all a dream and I wasn't just gonna wake up in my old bed. And sure enough, the next morning I was still there. But then the police barged in. And when they took me downstairs, there were cops everywhere. I didn't even get to see the woman again. And then they put me in their car and took me home. I still wonder what my life would have been like if I had stayed. But if I had stayed, then I wouldn't have Elliot.
There are a lot of guys working on this. None of them could figure it out. What's that for?
For impersonating an NYPD officer. All cell carriers have a law enforcement hotline. Instead of hacking the carrier, if the situation's urgent enough, you can just ask them to track a block call for you.
Is it done?
Not yet. Need a few minutes for the spoof fax to go through. It needs to propagate through their system. No one in the world uses fax anymore except cops.
Half of me wants it to be him. Half of me doesn't. Before working for the Wellocks, I had a list of clients, all of them eccentric in one form or another. I worked for this one guy who used to masturbate in the car. He used to have me drop him off at Carnegie Hall. He was a first chair violinist.
God. Now he wants to have a heart-to-heart. Focusing on you helps drown him out.
Those Stradivarius violins from the 1700s.
Like talking to someone in a crowded restaurant.
Take it everywhere with
All the other voices and noises fade into the background.
about that.
Somehow your brain is able to decode the components of that complex auditory space. Can you feel it? Good. That gives us time to talk. Is Mr. Robot MIA because he's afraid? Afraid of what I might find when I'm done with this hack? Why did that phone call freak him out? Could he have lied about Terrell? What's his move here? Do you remember the last thing he wanted? He kept wanting to come back home, remember? There must be something here that he needs. He's been bringing it up since we left prison. Can you help? Can you look? Do you see anything?
And now they're moving to the next step. Yes, the next step. You know what the next step is? Blackouts. Why? So they can take away your power. And I am not talking about your electricity. I'm talking about your computers, your access to the internet, your television, your phone. What does that all add up to? Information.
Those wounds aren't fresh. Do you have any idea what happened to him?
And we went over to his place and found him like that. Is he gonna be all right?
He's on a respirator. They're gonna do a CT scan and run some other tests. We should know more in about an hour or so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you got an hour to kill. Hungry?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Detective Richard Hannigan, NYPD, 11th Precinct, badge number 22350. I just faxed over an exigent form for a suicidal person. Can you confirm that you received it? Yeah, I got a guy called his girlfriend's cell saying he's gonna shoot himself. Yeah, all of them came in blocked. Perfect. Can you see if it's one of yours? Can you ping that phone for a current location? You've been a huge help. I'll call you if there's something else.